Okay, so for this question on WebAssign, this is about z-scores, and the reason I know it's about z-scores is because that's what they're saying here. Let me get a pointer going here. Because they're telling us z. So because these z scores, we can go right to that z table in the Think Do book, or have this in Canvas if you don't have a copy. And this is in the course resources module. And anyway, so then you get to ask yourself, once you know what you're using in z-scores or t-scores, then you get to ask yourself, well, is it a left tail test, or right tail test, or a two tail test? So for this one, see how they're telling us H1 is less than? So that's a left tail test. Now that's kind of nice because this table always gives us probabilities to the left. So that means the answer for a left tail test will be what's right here on the table. So all you've got to do is we're going to come down and find the z-score, negative 2.15, and you probably remember this from back in chapter 6. The z come down to -2. Where are we? -2, then 1, 5. So 2. Oh, negative. Sorry, I lied to you. -2, 1, 5. Here, let's see. My eyeball's going to jump. We're going to make it 2, 1, 5. That white row and come over the 5 column. So that's the probability, the 0.0158, and that's what WebAssign is saying. Okay. So then the next one is a right tail test. So what we're going to have to do here is look up the positive value. And remember, because for a right tail test, we're looking for the area on the right, and this table tells us the area on the left. So we're going to have to subtract our table value from 1 here. Okay. So let's see, we're going to look up 1.84. So we're going to come down to the positive numbers. 1.84 is 0.967. So to get the answer, we're going to have to do, let's see, where's my board here? Can I write on this? We're going to look at 1 minus, what did I say? So it's 184. 184. Let's make sure I get that right. 184. So 1 minus 0.9671. And I don't know, I guess I could grab a calculator and do it, but I know this will probably give me the right answer, because if this were 97, it would be 0.03, and it's a little less than that. So we know this is what you get. I won't even bother subtracting that. That's how you get it, okay? Now, for this two-tailed test, what we're going to do is we're going to look up the z-score of here. Let me clear off this writing so we can start fresh. This two-tailed test we're going to look up 1 point. So a two-tailed test, you just say you're taking the error, see, because we don't know whether it's greater than or less than, but we'll just count both of them. So unfortunately, these two areas are symmetric. So all we've got to do is look up positive. Actually, because this is a positive 185, the table, oh, it's a couple ways to do this. The table is going to tell me, or tell us, this area here, right? And if we want to find this area here, let me get fancy and go to green. If we want to find this area, we've got to do one minus that table answer, and then we're going to double it, because that area will be the same in both ends. So let's see, what is it? 1.85, 1.8, 1.85. Let me make sure I've got that set up. 185. So 1 minus 0.9678. And actually, I'll grab a calculator and we'll actually get the answer here. So 1 minus 0.9678. So I got 0.0322, 0.0322, and then I got to double that, because that's the area right here, and we need to count both of them. So times 2, I'm getting 0.0644, and what's WebAssign saying? 0.06. Yeah, I mean, it's in the ballpark. It's around. They probably use a calculator for this, and we're just using the table. Okay. Now I was going to show you how to use the David Lane calculator with this too, but for some reason that's not loading for me this morning, so I won't do it. This is pretty easy with a table. So now, if they asked you, this is not your question, it goes a little beyond it. This will work for your any proportion test, one proportion or two proportion test from chapter 3, because those are z-scores. And if you know the population standard deviation, you'll get z-scores. So this works. The only other thing that's happening if you're looking for t-scores. If you're looking for t-score values, the best bet is to go use that Rossmann chance calculator. Here, let me see. Can I open that here? Will it let me open it? But I don't know, you probably have watched those videos about how to use that Rossmann chance calculator. And that works well for everything except the problem like that math and music in chapter 9. So you probably have watched that video. Okay, so hopefully this gives you the help you need.